Okay, hello and welcome everybody. I'm Brenny Larson and I'm going to be doing a screen share so you can look at the year of the rooster instead of me. I have Yasha Jampolsky on the phone and he is, I call him Dr. Feng Shui. He was so right on the money when he did my chart that it validated who I was and it gave me permission to be me. So I absolutely love that. But if you, oops, no, we don't want to end the recording. We want to minimize you. Okay, I'm going to do a screen share. That's what I'm doing. Bingo. Year of the Rooster. Okay, guys, so there's a couple ways this can work. If you are on the Facebook Live, you can type in your birth date and we can get some information about what to expect in the year of the Rooster. It's super important that you understand the energy going on.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Okay, I'm gonna be. That's you, Yasha.
That's me. I can't.
I'm gonna mute you for a second. I have power of the mute people, which I really enjoy. So all that means, well, here's a technical lesson from a spiritual geek. That means that he's probably sitting too close to his computer, which has a microphone, and it's picking up the feedback. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and unmute him again. If we still have a little feedback, then he's going to have to jump on his computer. But please, whether you're on the live stream, Jane did it. Yay, Jane, you're the winner. 111. I better put my reading glasses on. I think it says 56. I am training my eyes that I don't need reading glasses. 11156. Jane, you get to be the winner of the first information. There we go. Yasha, you're good to go. Oh, feedback.
Hello.
Yasha, you have feedback. So what my suggestion is that you step away from your computer.
What a night. Hang up the phone.
If you have two phones on, that would do it. If you're too close to your computer, that would do it. Otherwise, you might have to jump on Zoom, and I can make it so you don't have to be seen if you don't want to be seen today. Are you there? Okay, he's jumping on another phone line, but this is really awesome. See, guys, you can be an expert and not be seen. So I got to keep an eye on Yasha right now. I wanted to do a little screen share of the year of the rooster because you don't need to be looking at me. You see me every single day, but I have to keep an eye because I have it set up so that when people come on, their video and audio does not come on so that it doesn't interrupt when we're doing live calls. We love to do live calls. I'm doing a lot of live streaming, and there's two places you can find it. If you go to my Feng Shui Messenger page, which is facebook.com/organize with Brenny. Jane, maybe you could type that in for me. If you go there and look under events, that's where I put all the events to do with Feng Shui, declutter, organization, 5 elements, chakra Feng Shui, that type of information. But I'm also big on getting information out to the world, which has to do with energy and movement and shifts, because everything is energy in Feng Shui, so that anything that I put in front of you when I go get these experts, I'm doing a tele-art gathering right now, so you can go to that page and look under events, and on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays I do live calls with speakers there. I highly recommend you take advantage of this. I'm putting you in front of the experts that charge hundreds of dollars, and they're willing to do live calls so that we can help you. I think I just heard him come on.
Yeah, I'm here.
All righty.
I hung up my phone and I'm on Zoom now. Can you hear me okay?
You're perfect now.
Okay. I thought I was perfect before. I just sounded bad.
Oh, fine. He's perfect any way he is. All I'm going to do is they are looking at a picture of the year of the rooster on Facebook right now. And Jane, one of my students, she did put her birth date in. It's January 11th of 1956. So we're going to use you as an example. Guys, share this out because this is really powerful information. We want to set people up for success in 2017. Now, Yasha, you don't have to worry because the recording I'm doing on Zoom, I'm just going to use the audio recording.
Okay.
And so we already started that, but I'm a casual chick and I give everyone permission to be casual too. So
Okay.
take it away, Yasha. It's all you.
All righty. So before I get into the readings, I wanted to give a little bit of background so that everyone understands what is going on. First and most important thing is to understand the difference between the Lunar New Year and the Solar New Year. Tomorrow, the 28th, is the beginning of the Lunar New Year. This is usually the first new moon of the year, and this is the holiday that is celebrated by Asian people all over the world and communities in every country, wherever there's an Asian community. And it's celebrated for 15 days. And this is sort of when people speak about the Chinese New Year, this is what they're referring to. And it is a really fun holiday with all kinds of dragon dancing people. And if you've ever been to one, it's spectacular. The other New Year, the Solar New Year, is the one that we use for astrology. This one is the midpoint between the winter solstice and the spring, the winter equinox and the spring solstice. Or did I get it backwards? Anyway, it's the midpoint between the two. We're casual, right? I can have a little brain fog. Yeah. So it's the midpoint, and this is also known as, this method of keeping dates was known as the Farmer's Almanac, or the 10,000 Year Book. And it's really fascinating how incredible this book was at not only predicting weather and predicting all kinds of things, but it was really good at predicting energetic trends. And this is what all the 4 pillars is based on. And there are 3 systems. One is the 12 animals, which we will talk a lot about today. The other one are the 5 elements. And the third one is yin yang. And the way that we use yin yang is that each of the 5 elements, which are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, has a yin version and a yang version. And that makes up our 4 pillars charts. And from this, we actually are able to generate a chart that shows you the condition of qi at your moment of birth. And to be honest, I'm kind of a skeptic. And every time I do one of these charts and it turns out to be 100% correct, I'm amazed. So, and I've always kind of done this work with the idea that it was research. And I read a lot of books and I did a lot of study but I wanted to see what parts were true, what parts actually worked. And out of all of this work that I've done, and probably for about 20 years now, I've done thousands and thousands of charts and kept records and followed different people's lives to see how things are going and where the charts were accurate and where they went off. And it still impresses me and amazes me how accurate the system is. But for sake of simplicity, there are some simpler things that we can do. For example, we can look at the year of the fire rooster and try to understand what the influence of the fire rooster is going to be. And I do this on 2 levels. I do it a general reading, which we're going to talk a little bit about what the year is going to be like. And then there's also, if you get onto my website, you will find the influence on the 12 animals. So if I don't have a chance to get to you and give you a little mini reading, you can always go and look up your animal on my website and get a sense of what the year is going to be like for you. Okay, so first off, it's a little bit about the rooster. Who is this rooster? And it is a yin fire rooster. And Brittany had asked me the question that in some cases it's referred to as the red hen because it's a yin fire rooster. And my personal feeling about it is that the rooster has very specific characteristics that I don't know that I would assign to a hen. And and it is a yin fire rooster, so there are a lot of feminine qualities to it, which is actually a good thing, because we all went through what the yang version of this was last year, because last year we had a yang fire monkey, and the monkey carries yang metal, so we had Yang fire is sitting over yang metal.
Yeah.
And basically, that's a good formula to create dynamite. It was explosive. It was full of surprises. At times, the energy felt uncontrollable and what was going to happen next. And then the election came along, in case we didn't think that the year was exciting enough. And all the crazy stuff that went on both sides of the election. No, I shouldn't say both sides, on all sides of the election. You know, and if we somehow we survived and we made it to the Rooster year, and we could really experience something better. You know, because now we've got, yes?
I got a question. He knows I'm just going to interrupt him because he could talk all day, just like me. That's why we're best buddies. I've got several people on the live stream on Facebook. One of them did put her birth date in, and she said she had a great year last year. Now, that's wonderful because most people I know, it was like bringing all the darkness to the surface, making sure you declutter, work on the shadow side, all that kind of fun stuff. So you could start this year off great. Her birthday is 3/3/1980.
Okay, 3/3/1980.
While he's talking, I like to use stories and people, so we might as well.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, but if I could just finish and my trend, and then I'll come back and do some stories.
Okay.
And I have to say, I never preclude anybody having a great year. A lot of people had great year.
Right.
Especially people with a lot of dragon influence in their charts, or people, that with certain combinations in their 4 pillars had a great year. But generally speaking, when I speak about the year, I'm talking about the energy trends out there. It's much more about out there. When we get down to the 4 pillars charts, we can talk about what's inside of the person's life. We can get a lot more personal and sort of see the specific trends. You can see in these areas you'll do great. In those areas you may have some challenges, that sort of thing. So I never want to preclude anybody having a great year, even when we have a fire monkey, yang fire over yang metal. So I wanted to, before I started getting into specific chart analysis, I wanted to talk about the difference between yang fire over yang metal and yin fire over yin metal. So my best is a story about this child who's kind of getting bullied in school and comes home, and two children, one child goes to the dad, and the dad says, hey, this has got to stop. He gives the kid martial arts lessons, teaches him how to fight, telling him you got to stand up for yourself. Somebody pushes you, you push back, etc. And of course, you can imagine this kid eventually going back to school, getting into all kinds of fights and disrupting the whole environment. And that's sort of what the energy of the monkey is. It's very disruptive. No, I shouldn't say the monkey. It's the energy of yang fire over yang metal. Yin fire over yin metal. This is child number 2 comes home. And this one goes to the mom. And this is the feminine version of it. And the mom says, honey, I really support you in being who you are and standing up for yourself. And these people have no right to treat you this way. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to understand these people better. We're going to try to figure out why are they bullying you. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to do something about that. And in the process, the child goes to school, spends a lot of time sort of researching, figuring out why these people bullying me, and realize that one of the people, the ringleader, came from a broken home and had a lot of problems. And then this child and the mom set about figuring out some way to connect with this child and actually help this child who is being the bully to have a better life and to have a better perspective. And out of this, a lot of wonderful things. This mother's child grew tremendously. And all of a sudden, this whole world opened up. First of all, the self-esteem. Then there was the possibilities of dealing with conflict in a non-confrontational way. Amazing things happened with this child. So this is really the difference between yang fire over yang metal and yin fire over yin metal. So what we can expect, first of all, is a return to reason in a lot of ways. And this is not to say there aren't challenges, because the Rooster is a tough taskmaster and expects a lot from us. We have to rise to our highest level. We have to look inside and we have to see what's going on and try to correct the things we know we need to correct. All of us are imperfect beings. And part of the point of being here is to keep looking at ourselves, saying, you know, I'm really proud of what I did here, but I can do this so much better. And it's the I can do this so much better that induces growth. And induces not only personally, but this expands to the entire planet. And to, of course, to everyone you're close with, your family, your friends, your community. And this is a lot of the theme of the Rooster Year, about looking inwards and addressing the issues that you know you need to address.
Hey, Yasha,
yes.
I got a question about that, because I noticed at like the last 2 months, 3 months of last year, all of my declutter books or organizational classes increased. Was that like they naturally knew they needed to get things in order and clear things
Absolutely.
out?
We always, you know, as I've mentioned before, Brenny, you know, it's not a hard line between one energy pattern and the next. There's sort of a fading on one thing and a kind of upping of the other thing. So we kind of fade from one energy into the next, and we can kind of sense what's down the road. And decluttering is a very important part of the Rooster Year. Really releasing all the things that are not needed, that no longer serve us, especially conflicts. You know, if you've had a person you're romantically involved with or married, whatever, and things did not go well, and you may have split up last year during a lot of people split up during that monkey year. You know, a lot, you know, it seemed to be one of the things, relationships that were not on solid ground seem to come apart at the seams. And this year, in this Rooster Year, this is the time to let go. I have one client who was telling me who recently broke up with someone they were involved with for a few years, and basically saying, it's really hard for me to let go. I keep wanting to go back, but I know that I need to move forward. And you know, and all I keep repeating, you know, whatever it was, it no longer is. And you have to look at your life and think about, if you want to be romantically involved, you have to think about, what is that going to look like? What is it that I actually want? And this is sort of what the self-introspection that comes with the Rooster Year is about. You really get to look inside and spend a lot of time and energy thinking about, well, how do I want this to be? What is the experience that I want to have? I'd like to have a partner, but what, you know, and of course it's someone that I'm going to be attracted to and blah, 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 and the more superficial stuff, which is important. But you also, it's very important to be very clear about what is the experience you want to be having, how you want to be treated. I want someone who is kind, someone who is brave, someone who is sweet to me, someone who will make the effort to understand me. And this is just in the area of, let's say, relationships. And we can do that same kind of an inventory type introspection about just about anything in our life. If it's a job, if we would like a better job or better career, or if we have a career we love but we would like more clients, it's the same kind of a thing. It's about going in, thinking about, I'm doing this right, but this could be improved. And then also visualizing with certainty. That's the thing about the Rooster. The Rooster kind of requires us to be more certain in how we go and deliberate how we do things. So visualize with certainty. What is the experience I want to be having in that next job? What sort of clients do I want to have if I increase my client load? What sort of money would I like to earn? You know, and it's very, very important to really get into the quality of the experience, not just a superficial aspect.
Well, and you know, Yasha, by stating what you want, you're telling the universe you made a decision, and we know that intention is foremost to tell the energy. So if you've been dating the same guy with a different name for the last 20 years, that's what he's talking about, shifting the energy into what you really want, not what you're comfortable with. That's why we always are telling you to declutter and get organized, because it has an impact on you. We want you to shift your energy and get out of the rut.
And there's no clutter like people clutter in our life.
Amen. Everyone's cleaning their house up and they're forgetting to clean up the relationships.
Yeah. So, and you know, sometimes clearing clutter is getting rid of useless emotions that haven't served us. You know, an attitude, you actually have a job that you love, but you're miserable there. And if you look down deep inside, you're going to realize that really all it takes is a little bit of a shift in attitude, a little bit of shift of perspective, and this exact job that you went to so much trouble to manifest can now be a happy place for you instead of a place where you dread going every day.
You know,
You know what I
Yasha,
mean?
that's exactly where I'm at right now, is because I'm doing the same thing I always did before, but when 2017 came, I had done the work, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, I had done the work. And if you guys could see me when I declutter my home and wash walls and windows, you'd see it. But I chose this year was A, to decide, B, to co-create. And look at perception of different people. And that's really because of you, Yasha, because I am a hard worker. I have a lot of ox in my chart and dragons. And I thought everybody worked like me. And I was getting myself angry, which is a wood element, when people didn't work as hard as I did. And then Yasha gave me a different perspective. But I'm doing the same things. I'm teaching feng shui. I'm teaching 5 elements. I added chakra feng shui. But I'm co-creating. I'm jumping on calls with people like Yasha and live streaming them. I'm co-creating a online university for holistic entrepreneurs with 3 other holistic coaches. So that's what he's talking about, is now money's flowing in. I'm not stressed out like I was. And I wake up happy and I go to bed happy. And I've been wondering, well, what did I really do different? I think what I did different is I cleared out all those people that were, I cut cords from people. You know, your family's your family. You got to talk to them once in a while, but if they're a negative impact, you need to cut cords every day so they're not impacting you. But my whole thing was I shifted in co-creation, and now I'm just like super happy. When you're happy, you're vibrating higher and life flows easier to you, right?
Yes. Always.
Are you ready to do a little bit of mini readings here?
Yeah, the only thing is I don't really, technically my computer's got too many screens up and I can't really generate 4-pillar chart. But what I can do is if people tell me what year what year and month they're born, I can do the influence of the rooster on their particular year animal.
Okay.
So we had someone you said was what?
I've got a couple
January 56.
January 56.
Okay. So let me just check and pull up that screen.
Yesenia, Marcia, oh yeah, Stuart. You guys put your birth dates in if you want mini readings. There we go, Anne.
So just to be clear, January of 56 is actually still 55 because the year doesn't shift until the beginning of February.
Right, that January, February thing is what's wild, where people read the placemats.
Exactly.
Restaurants and think they're
exactly. And we want to get a little more into it than that. We want to get information that really is based on the cycles of time. The whole point of astrology is to tap in to the cycles of time and the energy of things moving forward. So if you're born in January of 56, you're actually born in a horse pillar year. And I can tell you what that would be like, the experience of it. And it's actually this year holds great prospects for you. But you have to be willing to work consistently and in a focused manner. In other words, not a little of this and a little of that and a little of the other thing. Set your goals and stay on them and do the work that's required, and you're bound to succeed. In order to do this effectively, you'll have to be discriminating what you take on. So that means also choose everything. Choose your battles, choose your workload, choose what fun activities you want to do, but it has to be a very active kind of choosing. Concentrate on completing tasks you have begun and take the time to establish clear communication with important people in your life. So there is a kind of a reaching out to the people that you have connection with, you have love for, that have love for you, but also who will be supportive of what it is you're trying to accomplish. travel is, if you want to travel, this is a good time to travel. And whether it's business or pleasure, this will be a good experience for you. Be mindful of financial matters and attend to any issues that come up immediately. Also be mindful of overspending. So basically, keep yourself on a budget. The Rooster really likes budgets because there's a clarity. When you sit down and say, I can spend X amount on this and X amount on that, and of course you leave a little bit of wild money that you can spend on anything. We don't want to be too rigid, but overspending is not recommended for the horse at this year. And also, not to let things go. For example, if there's some bills that are piling up on the desk drawer, this is a year where if you don't take care of it, and it might end up getting worse, where there might be some penalties, there might be some other things. So take care of your bills, and that doesn't mean, even if you happen to have bills that you're not able to pay at the time, taking care of them would be either paying down on it or making some kind of an arrangement so that you don't end up with a problem later on.
Yasha, sometimes it's just reaching out and asking and you receive.
Absolutely. You would be amazed. I mean, very often we ignore things, we hide from things because we've already anticipated a negative response. And it's always surprising and amazing to find out that there are people out there who are willing to do things for you who don't even know you, that you never imagined.
Okay.
So,
are you ready to go on to the next? I have 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
I have about 5 or 6, and these people.
Sure, let's go. What's the next one?
They show up all the time, so I want to thank you, Ann, Yesenia, Marcia, Stuart. Thank you guys, Sandal, that you guys show up. It means a lot. So Sandal's next, and she's March of 80. Oh, we got a young one here.
March of 80. Okay, so let me see it because I don't remember these off the top of my head.
No, we don't keep that information in there.
Is this our monkey friend?
Well, I believe
1980 was a monkey year.
Now, monkeys are playful, so I'm sure you like to play tricks on people, Sam.
Yes. Is this really your birth year, or are you playing a trick on us?
Yeah, Master Lynn was a monkey. Yes. Yep, that's her. There we go.
So the rooster years are actually beneficial for monkeys, and there are plenty of opportunities for growth and personal development. Even if the opportunities present themselves in the context of work or career. So you may think, I just want to have fun. I'm a monkey, it's a rooster year. But a lot of good things could happen at the workplace if you just have you're looking out for it and willing to just have the best possible attitude about it. The rooster does frown on monkey business. So this is a year where, we ask you to just stop monkeying around. No tricks allowed, This is a year when it's really, to be more rooster-like is really the best way that I can describe it, which is direct and focused, looking at things in a straight line instead of the wavy, amorphous way that monkeys usually look at things. And there's a lot of good things that can come from this, including career opportunities, social activity, opportunities for romance, and many other good things.
She's the optimist. She's always had a great year last year and is the optimist.
Yes. And so if you were born in a monkey year and you had a great year last year, why do you guys out there think that happened? Why would a monkey have a great time in the monkey year? So since I can't hear your responses, I can feel what you're thinking though. Monkeys are so comfortable with other monkeys because they are the perfect playmates. They have that same kind of acute intelligence and ability to quickly pick up on things. They become interested in a lot of different things all at once, and the only downside of it really, somebody in the group has to be the grown-up, because sometimes monkeys get so carried away when they get with other monkeys, they forget about essential things that need to be done. So I'm not surprised you had a great year last year. I hope you have a great year this year too. It looks like it's going to be a really good one, with lots of opportunities. But again, the difference between last year and this year is you have to be a little more focused, a little more direct, and no fooling around, you know, a little more serious.
Well, you can fool around a little bit because you're a monkey, so you have to. But he's saying, okay, by telling me to act mature, okay? I'll do it for a little bit. So this is great. We're getting a lot of activity, and we thank you on the live stream. I had to plug my iPad in because it's just like all the energy got sucked out of it. So we know there's a lot of activity going on in this call. So yay!
Yay!
Are you ready for another one?
I am.
Now I have 2 people born in 1973. One is in April and one is in November. I don't know how much difference there is by those, but we'll find out. Thank you for the hearts. We love it. Sandal, you show up. People, when you show up and when you share this out, I'm always going to call on you because you're supportive of us. So here we go. Yasha has, she's November of 73, and last year she did a lot of declutter, including like 20 years worth of people that were negative Nelly.
Great. So the 2 of you are born in an ox year. 1973 is an ox year.
Well, and I like that already.
Yeah, and you know what? I bet you when you were decluttering, you were working harder at decluttering than anybody you know, because that's what ox people like to do. They like to work. You know, that's really what they understand best about life, which is, you know, rather than saying, what am I supposed to be doing? They're saying, what's the job here? You know,
can I give an example of an ox? Yasha knows I'm an ox. I'm a Taurus. I have 2 ox in my chart. And so he told me to do something relaxing and go take golf. Well, what do you think I did? I went and got an instructor. I had to be the winner. I had to outdo everybody. And he's like, you missed the point there, darling.
Exactly. So, you know, for an ox, always recommended. Well, for one thing, I want to say that this year should be a really good year for you. You know, the animals are arranged in little family groups called trinities.
Yeah.
So the 3 animals in your group would be the rooster, the ox, and the snake. So, and it's really interesting how these animals interact. My children, one of them is a rooster and the other one is an ox. And they are inseparable. I mean, they went through the usual bickering, they're young children, but as soon as they were a little bit older, they were so close. It's just heartwarming. And part of it has to do with the fact that they're part of the same family, but also the same family group. So what the rooster will do is support you through almost anything that you need to do. You already have a lot of the qualities that the rooster admires and requires this year. So this year should just be a wonderful year full of opportunity, as long as you don't overdo the work stuff. You know, as long as you find time for relaxation, time for connecting with people, because this is one of the things that happens with ox. Sometimes they go through periods of loneliness because they're so busy focusing on the work, they forget about the people factor.
Right.
So this is a very important year to connect, you know, within your family, within your community, you know, any way you can connect within your social groups. So that's what I would recommend for that.
So co-creation was my soul just telling me to do it, because it just shifted right away when I get to hang out and have fun with these other people. And it takes work off of me, not work.
Exactly. And, you know, but it doesn't take the pleasurable part of the work, you know. It takes the part where the ox tends to overburden themselves. And so it's a really nice synergy when you can have balance. You know, every single one of the 12 signs has areas where they can go out of balance, where there's some positive stuff and some stuff that's not so positive. And the whole idea is to understand what your strengths are, but to keep things in balance, you know, not to say, well, these are my strengths, I'm just going to go crazy with it, you know, but to keep it well in balance. Even someone as hardworking as the ox, you know, too much work can be detrimental to them and to everyone they're close with. So let me just say a little bit more about what the rooster has to offer. Of course, you can do well in areas of career and work. Some discipline is required, so to not overdo it. You also have opportunities for romance. Now, if you already have someone, this is an opportunity to renew romance, and to sort of spark things again and get all romantic. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like being with someone for a really long time and find out that you're still doing it for each other. I'm very fortunate. I'm in a long time marriage, and we work hard. We don't get to see as much of each other as we would like, but when we're together, we're like a couple of teenagers. And that's a really wonderful thing that can happen if you've already got a relationship and things sort of have gotten a little flat. But now with the combination of the rooster and the ox together, you have an opportunity to bring some fire back into the relationship.
You got a hot wife, so you have no problem bringing fire into that relationship. I met him, and I'm like, how did you get a model? Yasha!
My wife is a chiropractor.
I'm not making any comment, you troll.
Okay. To have your best rooster year, all you ox people out there,
Woohoo!
take advantage of educational opportunities because every new thing that you learn will support all your greater goals, especially during rooster time.
So Yasha, what about me working with oxes? Because one of the ladies on the call that's an ox, I'm doing some work with her. We get along great. Like I could be on the phone with her all day.
Yes.
She obviously is part of my trinity. You just have to be careful when the oxes are together. Woo-hoo.
Well, you have to be careful not to go too far out of balance with the work stuff,
Oh, we laugh and have a lot of fun. So I think we have that balance, don't we?
And so I think you got it going on. You sort of have gotten wind of like what it is you're supposed to be doing with each other. And not all the animals get along with their own kinds, but ox people really like to be around other ox people.
I think part of it is because we can just mosey around outside and be happy.
Yeah, and perfect example. It's really interesting. When my kids were young, I used to try to, because I knew what year they were born, it sort of told me what year most of the kids in their class were born. And it was always interesting to see the way that the various animal groups interacted with each other. And, my daughter's class, this was the hardest working bunch of kids. They all were like straight A students and like not even competing with each other. It was almost like they were getting off on each other's energies. They created a wave that they could all ride together. And that sort of describes the relationship of an ox with another ox. And during this rooster year, it's going to be even better. So the only caution, and I think this is a caution for everybody, but it's also specific to the ox. It's very easy during rooster years to overspend, and it's important to budget. It's important to keep track of money. If you have the money to spend, enjoy it, but don't overspend beyond your means, and try to avoid creating new debts. Unless it's a good kind of a debt for a house or an investment that's going to come back to you. But it's important to budget that and to pay attention to things like bills, etc.
Yasha, what I just heard loud and clear in my head was stop spending money chasing shiny objects.
Yeah, that's it.
Entrepreneurs have a tendency, and I did it in the past, and that's one reason I'm working on this online university.
And in the case of people like yourself, Brenny, who are such natural promoters, at this point, and I know you've spent a lot of money to make these systems work and to learn as many, and I know most of your motivation was you weren't doing this for yourself. You were doing it because you wanted to reach people.
Right.
And you were really doing for the people you were trying to reach.
Right.
Anyway, my news is you already have so many tools and so many skills. You don't need to spend any more money on tools this year.
And I said that last year. I'm not spending any more money. I'm not getting any more programs. And I couldn't figure out, I was talking to Yasha, because not only is he a really good friend and my coach, but it was like, suddenly all the pieces are fitting together this year of all the work I did. I've already got all the programs put together with the 100 funnels I created. I've already taken classes on how to do great online events and, do things. So you have the tools right now So breathe through it. And that's what he's talking about. Don't keep going in debt and hoping something works. Follow
Yes.
somebody who knows what they be talking about. Are you ready for another one?
I am ready, Brenny.
Woo-woo! We've got October of 1947.
Ooh, a young person.
I call it levels. I don't call it age because age sounds old. Like I'm going to be level 56. Oh, wow. Am I? Yeah, level 56. That sounds way better than 56 years old.
Yes, level
He knows
56.
I'm really a 4-year-old at heart.
Is that like Area 57? So, my dear, and I don't know your name.
Anne. This is Anne.
Anne, you're born in a pig year. And pig people are wonderful people. The reason that I love people born in pig years is that you know, they actually have such wonderful, fresh, friendly, warm energy, and they really love to see things improve. But they also want to bring everybody else up with them. You know, rarely do you get the pig person who doesn't have a strong social circle, or people who surround them that depend on them for various things, whether it's counsel or whether it's for support, whether it's to create social situations. And you know, this year, Rooster year, is especially well aspected for you to for your social life, so and your personal life, which is really good news for the pig, because their personal and social life really is the core of what matters to them. People, they are notoriously people. The original people person was born in a pig year. So it's a really wonderful time now, because you will have the kind of thing that you really thrive on, which is a nice social circle, a lot of activities where people who see you and appreciate who you are. And if someone doesn't, you will have the ability and the strength to just reach out to them and show them. You know, if they're not paying attention and they're not seeing how wonderful you are, you'll just stand up and show them, because this year you have the confidence to do that. And it's also, you know, if you're looking for a partner, this is a great year for you to find one. And if you already have one, it's a great year for a renewal and to have the spark come back again.
So it sounds like a good year for pigs.
Yeah, it's a great year for pigs.
And pigs, they bring in the bacon, which is money. So maybe you're going to get some money coming in too, baby. Okay, now we have Inga, which is June of 1975. And Yasha, I have to let you know, I've hooked up with people on the other side of the world. So you might have people from Brussels or Ireland, UK. So a lot of my people that are popping up here. I'm loving giving it a dose of Yasha Jampolsky. I want to explain, he is barely scratching the surface of energies of animals. That's what astrology is about, is when they say an ox, you immediately think what? That I'm stubborn, that I plow through obstacles, that I might stomp my foot. You do have these characteristics, so it's important to understand. I'm telling you, I think every business should have their charts done with everyone they work with. But when he does a chart, he goes deep into it. You do, like, I'll just say by 10-year cycles, because 60 seems to overwhelm people when you talk about it.
Yes, we do 10-year cycles. I do annual cycles, and we could even get it down to certain days. I have clients who are artists. Living in near New York. I have a lot of clients who are artists, and very often they ask me, when should I have my gallery show? And I've been really good at predicting the best time for a gallery show. I even can tell them what the best time is to start preparing for it, when they will be most tuned in with their creative selves and create, for example, with their painters, the best paintings they ever did, best sculptures they ever did, etc. So, you know, 4 pillars can be very specific about time, you know, once I have the whole story and time to go through it.
And let's get clear, this isn't a prediction, it's a prescription. He gives you information, but it's free will. It's the choices you make and where it leads you. Otherwise, hey, Lori, good to see you on the call. I saw you over on Zoom earlier. So anyway, what it's about is, I just want to make it clear, is otherwise all he would have to do is create a report and there you go, that's the way it is. But we have free will and we get to make choices. What I love about this is it validated I am exactly who I'm supposed to be. So I could say to my parents, they can talk to God because this is who God created. Yes, I have big, bold energy, but I'm a thunder trigram and I have 2 ox and 2 dragons in my chart. I'm who I'm supposed to be. But it really helps you understand your element and your animal a lot better. And I just think every business really, if we could incorporate this so that you would have a balance of energy and everybody working like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. What if we could bring our show down to Washington and do all the charts for all the people involved in running our country? How would that be?
Oh boy, would that ever be interesting. We would just multiply right now however many hundreds of thousands of people showed up, because the charts don't lie. When you take your first breath of air, you're comprised of stardust, and here's what it is, and this is what it's saying. Okay,
so our friend who was born in 1975, I'm sorry, I didn't get the name. Can you repeat it, Brenny?
Inga. June
Inga.
of 1975.
And what country is Inga from?
Inga, are you from UK or are you from, I've talked to Brussels, Dublin, UK, like I'm really working the world right now, Yasha.
That's wonderful. So, I'll just try to imagine Inga and not need to know what country she's from. And she's born in a rabbit year. And what a perfect follow-up to the pig year, the rabbit year, because they're part of the same trinity. And I always refer to the pig, the rabbit, and the sheep that are the 3 in that group as the nice trinity. Most of them can't understand why anybody would ever be mean to a person, and they have that kind of kindness and great quality. And just, this love of people, love of social situations, love of home also. So during the rooster year, and I wanted to add that the rabbit has a unique relationship with the rooster, which is called 180-degree opposition, which means they're exactly on opposite sides in the wheel of life that the 12 animals represent. And, in traditional Chinese astrology, that was always thought to be an unfavorable thing. But my research really has shown that that's absolutely not true, mainly because none of this is meant to be punitive. It's not there to punish us. It's there to stimulate growth and to help us be the better people and be the whole, everything that we're able to be, and essentially what better way to grow and learn than to play with an energy that's 180-degree different than ours.
Yeah,
so
she's from Latvia, L-A-T.
Latvia, okay.
You know the other side of the world because you were born on the other side.
That's right. I was born on the other side.
So, guys, he's got a lot of hidden talents here. We'll talk about that a different day, but yeah,
definitely.
So there we go.
So it's very, very important for a rabbit person to understand that part of the reason that this is happening is that you can personally grow in certain areas that you may not be able to grow otherwise. Awesome. And really, the best advice, and in fact, I just spoke with someone who was born in a rabbit year who was very concerned about what's going to happen to me, etc. And I said, you're going to have a wonderful year. I mean, if you want to have a wonderful year, you will. Part of what you need to master during a rooster year is to be more rooster-like. What happens with rabbit people, they're so nice and they're often too giving, and eventually they start to feel victimized. And when they feel victimized, their world turns upside down, and then they're not so happy. And when people are not so happy, they're not such a nice bunny anymore.
Crow loudly. Don't be the little rabbit hiding. Crow loudly.
Exactly. So the idea is to learn how to be more rooster-like. And what is the rooster? Very direct. Like, you know, if a rooster person wants to give you advice, just hold on to your seats, because they're going to tell you, they're going to just blurt it out without any concern at all for like how you might react or anything else. So in some ways, as a rabbit person, you have to learn to be, I hate to say this, a little more unkind in how you communicate things. I mean, the inner kindness and goodness is always there. You know,
Stand in your power. That's what I'm hearing.
That's a good one. Be in your power. Be kind and be in your power. But stand up for yourself and know your boundaries so that you never feel victimized. Because that's what can happen when we overgive. The universe expects us to give and to receive. And when we are giving and not receiving enough, things get out of balance and they go kablooey. And most of the time, the reason that people are not receiving, because they're not asking, they're not really clear about what it is that they want, and often they don't feel that they deserve it.
I think this is good information for everyone. This is good information you're giving for everybody, not just the rabbits. So
everybody, but especially rabbit people, because they tend to make themselves vulnerable to those forces where they give up their power, you know. And so this rooster year is going to be such great training ground. And really, if things start to go, you know, seem a little difficult at one moment or another, and they may not, you may be so aligned with, you know, your goals and what you want to do, and you may be so determined. You know, it's a real, when rabbits become determined, there's very little they can't accomplish. So you may be so determined and focused that you won't even notice that you're facing 180-degree opposite energy. You know, you may just go through your life, and I hope that's what happens. But should you encounter challenges, you know, you have to regroup, you have to go inward, you have to find your inner strength and operate from that place, not from any perceived injuries or any perceived insults, because when we take in insults, we're the only ones that suffer, you know. Yeah. And we, you know, even pointing fingers at the person who's insulting us and say, "Oh, this person's a terrible person," that doesn't serve us even to do that.
You know, this is just great because she's a very much an intuitive, and it says, so not to overgive and to receive. This is the message I'm getting. So what's great about this is he's giving you general information, and then you being intuitive, you're starting to pick up more information, which hopefully makes you excited for your future. Because Yasha and I don't believe in the negative Nellies and putting fear into people. Like, you're going to have a terrible year. Just go put your head in the sand. That's not true, because what we talk about is you may have challenges in life, but challenges are growth experiences. And if you think you've had a challenged life, please message me. I can name off 20 situations in my life that have been a challenge. Yasha, we're getting down. I like to honor the time. We started a little late. I've got one more birthday I would love for you to do, because it is.
One more thing for the rabbit person.
Okay. Sorry.
Next year is a dog year, which is a 6 combination, which will be a fabulous year for you. Ooh. So if you're able to stay focused and do the work you need to do this year, next year you're going to explode into the world and be magnificent. My last words for the rabbit.
Well, and you're calling it right on the money, because how I met her and the people she introduced me to, she is very much a giver. So yay, she's excited about this year, and especially next year. This year is really getting everything in place, and next year it's just going to go boom, Inga. Okay, the last one is Dawn Reagan. I want to make sure she gets in.
Okay, what year?
February of 57.
57. That's a rooster year. What date February?
Hey Don, what date? You know, let me look and see if I can go back and scroll through.
Yeah, because if it's before the turn of the, you know, it's not a rooster, it's a monkey. But if it's after the 3rd, it's a rooster.
Yeah, because what he's explaining is it changes in January and February of when the new year starts.
Yeah, it changes the first week in February.
I'm looking, Dawn. Okay, there's Dawn. Hi, Brenny and Yasha. Hi. Because some of them put it in, and I just, okay, thanks, the 12th.
Okay, so Dawn is born in the rooster year. Okay, and again, if you were to follow the traditional Chinese explanations, roosters are the ones that don't really get along with their own kind, and they often refer to it as self-punishment or arguments. And my research has shown that it's not that at all. It's not about punishment. It's not about having a hard time in life. It's really about when a rooster is in a rooster year, I call that a face yourself year. This is especially for roosters. As I mentioned in the opening, this is a year for introspection, for self-analysis, self-correction. For a rooster in the rooster year, it holds even more true and is even more important to be monitoring yourself and the way that you are acting around other people. In other words, take notice of how people are reacting to you, and make the necessary correction. Because beneath it all, roosters have a love of other people, but sometimes they don't really know how people are reacting to them. And it makes them, they can be a little gruff and a little too direct. And on a lot of levels, that's so appreciated because truth really matters. Truth is important. And roosters will always tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. But
Roosters
this is a year where,
Brenny.
what's that?
Roosters and Brenny will always tell you.
Exactly. Roosters and Rennick is an honorary rooster.
I'm an honorary
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
rooster in many ways, baby.
So my best advice to you is to just be a little more aware. Turn on your radar and see how people are responding. And try to understand, and this is not to say because somebody responds badly, you should say, oh no, I did the wrong thing. Not at all. But much more, if somebody responds badly to you, what is the information that's in there within what happened? What is it that I can learn, that I can benefit from? And sometimes it's, well, you shouldn't be so direct, or you should be a little more sensitive. Sometimes. Other times, there are just amazing life lessons available from every encounter we have with people. That's the beauty of it, being out in the world and connecting with all various people. And so that would be my best advice to any of the rooster people listening.
Yasha, one thing that I love that you point out is, and this is so true, is whenever you have challenges in life, whether it's family members or clients or whatever's going on, is it's a learning and growth for you. Instead of looking at it from, oh, that person gets on my nerves. Well, why does that person get on your nerves?
Exactly.
And be aware of it. So it's really just being awareness, so then you can clear that out and move on, because we've all gone through where we've held on to things for way too long that didn't serve us. That person was long gone, not caring about you, and you're holding all this energy of frustration in. So really just look at it from a different perspective. There's that word, Yasha.
Yes, there is. And also, there's also good news for rooster people. Lots of opportunities for you this year, including in career. Especially you may experience a raise in income, quite substantial one. And also, there will be improvements in your social life, even though, again, social life for rooster year could be a minefield. And if you're just paying attention, it'll be a wonderful experience. And for those who don't pay attention, well, you'll have some learning experiences. We can learn through contrast, or we can learn by paying attention and having a better knowing of where we fit in different situations, and the best way to be insert, etc. So also, education is very important to the rooster. So this is a great year to learn and to study. Just like I told Brenny, she doesn't really need any more of the stuff, that she's been the tools and the studying and the seminars. For the rooster, this is a great time to add something, that's in one of your areas of interest.
Yeah, Yasha, I looked at it like this. If I don't have it in my toolkit and toolbox by now, no other webinar. It goes for years. I watched every free webinar I could get my hands on, traveled to live events, gotten coaching programs, and it's like, I did that and I'm done with that. But you haven't done that, that's what he's saying. This is a great.
And I also know I also know why it is you have all these people around you. Because you need a lot of people to carry that toolbox. It's so full of stuff.
It really is, isn't it, Mister? Not to toot my own horn, but I will. So, Yasha, I want to make sure that for those that want to, I have one question. Do you have the Trinity? Because I do, but I would, if you have that available, easy for them, like if they go to your website and sign up on your newsletter.
I don't have it. No, I don't. Actually, I should have a page like that. I'd be happy to do it.
I do have that because when I first got bit by just Minghua, I went and studied everything, as you well know, compass and everything, 4 pillars of destiny, 9-star key. He knows how I study. So I do have that chart, and I will send that out. But I want to make sure if you want to follow Yasha further, that you can go to 4pillarshoroscope.com. Now that's spelling out F-O-U-R.
Yes, and then it's pillars, plural pillars.
Because that's what he does, people. He does the 4 pillars of destiny horoscope. And this is really who you are, and it's guidance. I know Lori had her chart done. She's on the call right now. That's one thing I want to talk to him about is I said my nephew turned 4 yesterday, and I got to go back and look at his chart because. Oh,
you bet. You bet. Also, what I wanted to mention a couple of things that I always love Brenny's people. All of you are Brenny's people because that's how I know you now. And I'd like to have like some little special deals for you. If you would like a 4 pillars reading, I have a New Year special at half price.
What?
And you can get all the details on my website. And I also, if you mention Brenny, when you purchase it, PayPal I think has a place for notes. If not, you can tell me later. When we start to connect. But if you mention Brenny, I will give you I know what I sound like now, but I have a book that's called Easy Steps to 8 Mansion. And it's probably one of the most comprehensive and easy ways to learn compass feng shui. So if you mention Brenny, I will include that book. I will send it to you in a PDF. And it's sort of a wonderful book with a lot of possibility, a lot of the stuff. Those of you who've been studying with Brenny, a lot of the stuff you've been learning with her is in that book, and it's presented in a simplified way. So if you haven't quite figured it out, this book will really help. And there's also some new stuff in there that I think you will enjoy.
And when you do their chart and then they have that as a reference book, that really helps a lot too, because your jaw will be open as he goes through and you go, oh yeah. Because we do feng shui for like, I don't know, what is it, 20 years now, Yasha, 30 years, who knows?
Yeah, something like that.
Time, okay? And we still, when I have students write me, it's like miracles. And I know it works. It's like, listen, I don't have to worry about it. That was my first beginning 3 years of why does it work that way? Why? And it's like the Chinese people, the universe, they all figured it out, and I know it works, and it's going to work whether you believe in it or not, because it's just the way it is. It's universal law. So if somebody can type that in, he did mini readings for all of you. Please type in 4pillarshoroscope.com. So when people are watching this replay, that they can easily click on that link and be able to go there. Hey, Jane, everybody's saying thank you so much that you did readings for Jane and Dawn.
You're also welcome. It makes my heart sing to be able to do this. Brenny, I was wondering, would it be possible for me to give a little plug for a friend of mine who's doing tremendous work in feng shui and really does it for complete generosity? It's a magazine called Conscious Design Magazine. And she's doing a special issue on the new year. And my complete report is going to be featured in there. But I also like to give her a boost because she's one of the most selfless people I know. And this is a really high quality. She's sort of the Brenny of the printed world. And if you can imagine Brenny publishing a magazine, this would be it. And it's just wonderful information.
Well, she's awesome already. I like her.
Yeah, it's called Conscious Design Magazine. And it's really a lifestyle magazine that has a lot of articles about feng shui and, of course, a lot of the astrologies that we do. And so I just wanted to let you all know about that. It would be something really nice. Now, she that issue doesn't go to print, doesn't get published until next week. But if you have trouble getting my full report, just send me a little note to my website, and I can let you know when that magazine is published, and make sure that you get a copy of the report.
So Yasha, you did Dawn's chart a few years ago, and she says it was amazing information. So on that note, people's charts you've already done, as we know, I often go back and say, Yasha, now, can you go through with me again what's going on? What if you already have their chart done, you've already gone through it with them, but they just really want to look at, let's say, this year? Would you have any special pricing?
I mean, the bottom line is I spend an hour on the phone with people, so there's really not that much discount that I can really offer.
Okay, that's,
especially,
well, you already put
the
it
price
that
that,
price.
yeah, but
Really
but
not
I take care of all my clients, and if it's a hardship case or whatever, and they have some reason that I should do it a little cheaper, I'm always flexible to it. I try not to do it too much because I have a daughter in college right now.
You guys don't know. It's like,
that was an awakening. So.
Yeah, a daughter in college, but he was kind enough to get on this call because I'm kind of like, well, do you want to do it at 2 or 3? That's how I do it. It wasn't like, do you want to do Friday at 2 or 3? So yeah, there's lots of great comments. Yesenia, thank you. Yesenia, you really, she's one of my students that went through declutter, and she's really rocking this, and she feng her office. She just went back into real estate, and the very next day opened 2 escrows. So that's the power of feng shui, guys.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
Right. Yasha, thank you so much for taking the time out
You're
of your
so welcome.
schedule. And for that special offer I was unaware of, that's really a super duper good deal there. You can go check out his website, though. You don't have to buy anything if you don't want to. You can sign up for his newsletter. You quit your 9-to-5 job. Yay, Yesenia! Anyway, guys, you can go out there and check him out. You can follow him on Facebook, and I'll be doing more stuff with Yasha this year because this is just fun for us. This is not working.
This is fun.
We like to hang out. That's exactly what it's all about. That's how you know you're in your zone, and you're in the flow, and you're in your purpose. Because Yasha and I could jump on the call every day and just BS like this. So thank you, live streamers. We had like over 50 comments, like 60, 70 comments. So thank you for everybody who showed up, and we're interactive. You're welcome very much, everybody. They so appreciate us. We openly accept your loving energy. For those of you that showed up on the Zoom call, whether you chatted, raised your hand, asked a question, we thank you for showing up there too. This is how I'll be doing live streams from now on. We're having challenges sometimes on Facebook, so then you want to make sure to go and get to Zoom. And I create it as an event. So it's under Organize with Brenny. If you Google that in Facebook, facebook.com, Organize with Brenny. That's my feng shui messenger site. Just nobody can spell feng shui. So it's easier to put Organize with Brenny. And otherwise, if we're doing other energy work, it's facebook.com/teleart gathering. I create an event, so all you have to do is click on the link and you go right to Zoom, or you can just stay in that page and all this information will live stream there if Facebook is playing friendly. So I'm going to close out Facebook. Thanks so much, guys. We really appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.
And I'm going to close out and thank everybody who showed up on Zoom today. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Bye, Rita. You were here right away. We appreciate you. All right.